So there. That's the link. Cool. Watching the replay, I'll be flipping the camera in a minute. I'll make sure you saw that page there. Hey Yvonne, nice to have you here. This is the link for the challenge that's starting on Monday, and people are signing up now, so I want to make sure that everyone knows about it. That's the link. That's my book. Usual stuff. Nice to have you there, Angie. Put this down here and get started. How are you? Good to have you here. Oh, so you got the caps on there, like shouting at my name. Thank you. Good to see you, Yvonne. I'm doing a quick scope. Actually, it may be quick. It depends how it goes. Because basically, I am sharing with you basically my origin story, as it were. You know, I mean, it sounds superhero-ish. But I was in a conversation earlier today on a blab, and for our Perry 10K group that was celebrating worldwide our 3-month anniversary. So I'll get to that in a minute. So I'll tell you why I'm talking about that. But first, thank you for coming in. Appreciate you being here. If you are here for the first time, please make sure that you do tap on the little guy in the corner and tap follow me. Excuse me. I'm starting to get really excited what's coming up. Launching a new program Monday. I want to make sure you stay informed. So please make sure you're following me on here. And definitely if you are following me, please also, whilst you're there, tap on share on Twitter and invite your followers on Periscope. All right? Thank you for coming in. Thanks for joining me. I know there's some names I might see pop up, so I'm going to pad a little bit before they join us, so please bear with me. If you're on the replay, you can also tap the screen quite happily. You check around a cast to find people who might be interested in participating in my something. Hi, you're new. Good to have you here. This is Liz. Hi, Liz. Nice to have you here. Thanks for joining me. From France. Cool. Whereabouts in France? Because I have a friend of mine through Periscope. It's a photo project, work through Periscope. Interesting. Oh, Yvonne, your friend sent me here. Nice to meet you too. Yeah, Yvonne and I are in the same Periscope group, Perry 10K group. And one of the guys in that group, Ian, is actually in Paris. So, although he's English, he's doing a lot of cinema, theatre work. Anyway, nice to have you here. Thanks for joining me. If you are here for the first time, please again tap on the little guy in the corner and tap on follow me, so you follow my scopes. I'm doing a love scope every day. That's my commitment to myself and to my audience. I've got over 100 of those. I've seen a Kardashian before, not in person. No, I don't go looking for them. Frankly, if they came looking for me for help, I could help them, but they are not necessarily open to the sort of work I offer them. Let's put it that way. Anyway, I'll tell you a funny story about something like that in a moment. So you need about 40 more. Oh, for your photo project? Who is this, by the way? I didn't see this. Oh, Amy, you're doing the photo project. Okay, no problem. I want to stay on track, so I want to get the delivery information to you, everybody. And there's more people coming, I know, so I'm just holding off for a little bit. So if you want to dialogue amongst yourselves, you can go ahead and do that. It's like the room get ready for the teacher and everyone's talking to each other. It's okay, you can do that right now. If you're here the first time, again, please make sure you do tap on the little guy in the corner and tap follow me, and share this on Twitter, and invite your followers on Periscope. This is going to be really about my own story, about why I do what I do, and why I'm passionate about this. So it'll help up front if I tell you who I am, what I do first. You know, when I go back to tell the story, it makes sense why I do that. Okay? My name is Barry Selby, and you probably got that from the profile. If you looked at my Periscope profile, it makes it easy. My social media and, oops. Sorry, my computer's doing weird things to me. I'm trying to keep it from doing that. Stay there. Notes. My name is Barry Selby. I am the Heartbreak Repair Specialist. What that means is I help my clients, who are mostly single successful women, help them heal their hearts because of broken-hearted experiences in the past and attract amazing relationships. And I do it through various techniques and tools and skills and programs and products. I am a #1 best-selling author. My book, 50 Ways to Love Your Lover, is on Amazon. You can get it there. It's a physical book, Kindle book. I'm offering it to my people who join my challenge as an ebook as well. You can get it on my website for that. I want to tell you, there we go. I want to tell you that basically I am passionately involved in a group of people that are making a difference in the world. And we were talking today through Blab, another platform, about why we do what we do and where we come from. So I realized it might be the time for me to do a origin story scope, as it were, which is what this scope's about. Briefly, but I'll get to that out the way, and then we'll get to whatever you're concerned about in terms of love relationships and help you get where you want to go. So, as I said, I am a love and relationship expert. Studied this for many years because way back when, for those who don't know my accent, I'm actually English, although I live in the States for many years, live on the West Coast. And in my journey, in my family, I was in a very stable, very happy family growing up, which I didn't know until I was in my teens was a very rare thing. I'm going to cut sidebar in a minute about divorce issues around the country. But, oops, sorry, I just realized my phone is going to need power, so I'll do that now, so I don't forget later on. Okay, lots of preparation to get the scope going. So thanks for coming in, those joining me now. I will be rewinding a couple of times so that people join us, because people tend to join the scopes like this later on. They're getting here, and I've got some people. Nice to have you here. Hey, hey, good to see you, sir, Mr. Endless. What I'm doing right now is explaining, Jim, nice to have you here, basically why I do what I do, where I come from, and what brings me to this message and why I'm so passionate about this, especially as I just saw, let me just sidebar now, get back to that. I just saw a preview for a movie that's coming out called Divorce Corp. Not Divorce Court, Divorce Corp. It's a play on words. But basically how much money the divorce court industry makes, the judges, the attorneys, and not the people. And it's an extreme case, I understand that, a very extreme topic about divorce. But it got me to thinking, and I actually started writing about this. And in my latest Facebook post, I talked about, you know, the scenario is you meet someone through social, well, you meet someone through, I'm sorry, I'm realizing I'm going off track. I want to stay back on track. Let me explain this point first, and I'll come back to why I do what I do. Many people I know have found love, sex, connection, intimacy through online websites, dating sites, smartphone apps, you know, Match, Tinder, etc., etc. People are even getting married from those apps and that resource. They meet someone there who they think really connects with them, they think it's really nice, and they get married. And months, years, decades later, they get divorced. I mean, right now statistics say the divorce rate's about 50%. Based on all the new smartphone apps and ways of meeting people, I believe the divorce rate's going to go up, not down. And it's going to be 70-75% at least within 10 years. That's a prediction. I'm not saying it's the truth, but that's what I believe to be happening. Why? Because most people, when they meet someone in life and get into a love relationship with them, don't seek counsel before they get married. Just think about that for a second. When you are looking to do investments in business, 90% of people who are smart about it will seek a financial advisor. Most people go to the gym, want to work out, will see a personal trainer. Well, they may want to get counsel before they jump in, just a suggestion, so I'll talk to you about that in a second. If you go to the gym to work out, you'll generally find a personal trainer. If you want to go on a health regimen or go on a diet, you'll generally find someone to coach you through that. So why is it that most people don't seek help in relationships when they meet someone? They think it's natural. Well, my parents did it, therefore I should do it. Dangerous choice. So let me go back to my own story first, and I'll come back to this at the end. So I'm giving you like a circuitous route. I was raised in England, that's where I'm from, and a family that was together. My parents were together until my mother passed away 3 years ago, but almost 60 years together, which is unusual and very rare. So I thought, well, I didn't think about it consciously, but as a kid I was thinking, relationship work, easy, no problem. My parents never argued in front of me. That was one of the things they must have had as a rule before I was born and before my brother was born. They didn't raise their voices. Well, they didn't argue. I said they didn't raise their voices. They didn't argue in front of the kids. They did it privately. Now, as a kid, I never saw them argue, so that was one of the rules I had. Major point for you, by the way. You make rules about love and relationships based on what your upbringing is, your parents, what they did or didn't do in front of you. That point might change your life, by the way. That's what I was raised with, was that understanding that relationships, there was no arguments. In my teens, particularly in high school, I wasn't the hunk or the go-to guy. I wasn't the love interest for most of the girls. But I was the shoulder they cried on. I was the one person they felt safe with. They would come to me, cry on my shoulder, tell me about their woes and how they heartbreak, and I would counsel them. Now, I had no skills. I didn't know this was a business I could do, because I didn't do it until now. But I made them feel better, which was an innate drive in me to make them feel better. And that was where I started. In my own dating life in my teens and 20s, I made enough mistakes to fill a book. Not the book I wrote, but a different book. I haven't written that one yet. Largely because I didn't understand how relationships worked, which most of us don't. But something happened for me in my 20s. I really got clear that there was something else going on. There was another possibility, another story, another opportunity. And so I basically, without choosing intentionally, but every step of the way was played out for me without realizing it, I began studying. Thanks for the hearts, by the way. I love the red and green. It's like Christmas theme for Halloween with the bats. I love that. Awesome. I got really, I backed into, let's put it this way, I didn't do it intentionally, I backed into the seminar workshop industry, circuitous through a friend of mine. That woke me up to a possibility. There was more to life than what I'd been living to that point, and that changed my life completely. And for 30 years I've been studying this, so I've got a background. And really what I've learned over the years is that one, there's always more to learn. Two, there's always someone out there who can help you with where you're going, because there's always somebody who's 2 steps ahead of you. And three, everyone has a message. So what's pulled me through this whole journey, and I'm distilling it down very quickly, is to get to this point. The reason I wrote my book, 50 Ways to Love Your Lover, and why it's a #1 bestseller, is because my book makes sense. Because I had to put down in paper what I've been saying and talking about for about 15 years. And my work is in service to this, into you. I have put my heart and soul into my work, and people who know me know that I've done it for a long time, and I haven't wavered from it because I'm so clear about this. And to go back to that Divorce Corp movie preview for next year, I think it's in January, it's coming out. It talks about how the money that's made by the attorneys and the judges, yes, the judges make money, in divorce court proceedings, is a sham. And it's a shame too. But I look at it from the perspective of relationship choices. As I said earlier, when you are going out to make a financial investment, you'll see ideally a financial expert, a counsel. If you're going to go to the gym and work out, you'll see hopefully a personal trainer. If you're going to go on a diet, or you're going to take a new vitamin protocol, you probably would either read up on it personally or get someone to help you with it. So isn't it time you think about getting some help in your relationships? I mean, it makes sense to me. Most people go to therapists when something's broken. Why did it break in the first place? Everyone's quiet now, I see. I think they're thinking about what I'm saying. This is my point. I recommend, it's not just for me, but I would say anybody, hey Jessica, I was just wondering if you could join in, because I was talking about this point earlier about my origin story and what I'm talking about what I do. But this is the point. So I'm going to reiterate for Jessica in particular, because I know this is when we talk about this. As I mentioned earlier, one thing I learned very clearly is there's always someone 2 steps ahead of you. So there's always someone who can help you. If you want to go in the financial area to learn about money and investing, you'll see a financial coach, financial counselor, an investment counselor, an investment expert. If you want to go to the gym and work out, you go see hopefully a trainer. You're going to go to yoga, you see a yoga instructor. But when it comes to relationships, why don't you get help before you get into a relationship? Why is it you have to go see a therapist? Because one thing, you go to see a therapist before you get divorced, because divorce is way expensive. And if you go to my Facebook wall, I posted a link about this movie for Divorce Corp. And yes, it's very propaganda-ish in a way, because it's dramatic music and it's escalating in the intro, but it's the truth. Divorces wreck lives, and your bank accounts, and your businesses, and your life. And yet people won't spend money up front for a coach, for a counsel, for an advisor to get them guided in the right place up front. It defies logic to me now, and of course I'm looking back in hindsight. I didn't make the right choices. Thankfully I didn't lose in a divorce or get married and have that path for myself. But I did get clear along the way. Okay, no problem, Tamiko, you're not interrupting me. For me it's clear that for anybody who's looking to do real love, and in fact it happened for me with one of my clients, they sat down with me as a couple about 4 or 5 times over about 6 months before they got married. And their marriage is much healthier, I know, because of it. They've thanked me several times. In fact, one of the testimonials on my website is from that. Because if you're looking to get married for life, you're praying for who since you saw him on the Perry 10K? Who have you been praying for? I'm sure that was. Okay. Oh, that's the unless you think about Mexico. Sorry, I'm just sidetracking it slightly. I've done this myself. I derailed myself. Back on track. For me, the idea of sitting down with someone before you get into a committed relationship, either when you're single and you're looking to create that, or you're ready to get married and you're about to tie the knot, I heartily recommend, and this is not for me necessarily, but you seek, wherever you are, someone you can get counsel from. Be willing to get someone to help you see more clearly from a third-party point of view. So you can see clearly if you want to choose that for yourself. This is the piece I want to talk about more than anything else, and that's why I'm sticking with this point for a while. I'm passionate about helping my clients make the right choices. And it's not about my way or the highway. It's like you have to be willing You have to be willing to look at yourself before you get into a relationship, so you make the highest choice for yourself, so your choices can be successful, not failure. You know, people look at divorce as being one of these ultimatums that has to happen because things don't work out. Well, hindsight's 20/20. Before you get into a relationship, this is your hindsight speaking, sit with someone who can help you get clear on what you want, and get clear about what's in the way of getting that, so that you don't carry that baggage into the relationship and destroy it 10 years later. Is it making sense for you? I hope it is. This is not necessarily the most exciting, fun scope, but I want to make sure you get this piece because it could change your life for the better. And my work is about that. So I'll do a quick plug now, but I'll then take questions too, because I want to talk to you about this. Thank you. I'm glad it makes sense. On Monday, I'm starting a 10-day. I really need to change the name of it, but right now it's called a 10-day. It's okay, no problem. Keep going. It's a 10-day Love Rules Challenge, and you can sign up here. It's barryselby.com/challenge. Starts on Monday. It's a free gift from me to you. This is going to be 10 days talking about love and relationships. It's going to be based on Periscope with a Facebook group supporting it. And it's all free, gift to you. Going to be teaching from my book again, But You Always Love Your Lover. So basically, this book will be the basis for the teaching during those 10 days. But I want to make sure at the end of it, there's 3 big keys I'm giving as part of the 10-day sequence that will change your life. And I've hinted at one of them here. I won't tell you which one it is. So, back up to get back on this point again. And you can sign up, by the way, right away. This weekend, it starts Monday. It's the 10-day Love Rules Challenge. But that's a warm-up to what I do. Again, my passion, my message to you is that you make your choices for love. You make your intentions around love and relationship intentional, not accidental. When I see people saying that I met someone on Tinder and it's absolute love and perfection, I don't take that at face value. To be honest, I've gotten kind of cynical about that, because we fall in love with what we see. Well, yes, the problem is you don't think well. So I'm saying to people who are single right now, most of my clients, all of my clients right now, are single, which is better, right, frankly, because they choose a relationship intentionally. Yes, intentional. This is the point. One of the points. Relationship is a choice. Hi, good to have you here. So I'm seeing who. There are some people I'm watching for, so I'm just keep checking their profiles. Patricia, nice to have you here. Relationship choice is a choice. And making that choice intentionally with conscious awareness, and to have your ducks in a row, as it were, emotionally speaking, your heart lined up and your alignment to what you want clear, will absolutely change the direction of your life. Your love life will be different. But that's a choice. You don't have to do any of this. You can just fall in love and hope it works out and then get divorced 10 years later. I'm not saying it's going to happen that way, but it does for 50% of the people. That's a pretty uneven likelihood. How would you like to stack the deck so your success rate is 90%, not 50%? How would you like to stack your choices so that when you make the choice, it's aligned with all of who you are, not just here? Love is a choice. It isn't inexorable. It isn't a uncontrollable instinct. You can choose love. Yes, you can choose love. And you can make choices about relationship that will serve you, not destroy you. Thank you for that. Listening, people. Appreciate that. Hi, Gail. Nice to have you here. Nice lady, I think. Love is a discipline. Actually, I talk about love as a spiritual principle in my work. But I'm talking about love as being a choice you make intentionally. And so many people on this planet, maybe it's just the Western world I see it in, choose love accidentally. You're married and you didn't have this advice. Let me just say this to you very clearly, Liz. You can still change things for the better with your partner, if that's what you want. Thank you, I appreciate that. You've been praying for me for the language to speak. I appreciate that. Relationship is something that you can do. Sorry, Liz, let me get back to answer your question. If everything's going great, wonderful, but at the same time there are books you can read. I have one of those, by the way. I have counsel, and I have friends. I'm not necessarily an expert in couples counseling, but I do work with couples, because I work to see what is the common ground they can build from. And you do it yourself with your partner, in fact, if you're willing to. Been together 14 years, you've got some traction, you've got some history. You haven't, I hope, crossed the line where you can never go back. that you're still building. If you're still building, there's hope and there's opportunity for you. Because relationships can work. I've seen amazing ones. My parents were together 60 years and they didn't have counsel. Now, back in that generation, divorce wasn't a choice. It wasn't an easy option. Now it's too easy, but it's an expensive option. And nothing to do with prenups or that stuff. They don't work either, from what I've heard. It's about making the clear choice for your heart. And it's also getting clear what your heart really wants. So you make a choice that's healthy. So in my work with my clients, my single clients primarily, we set up a vision, a clarity of what's being intended. At the same time, though, as most people don't realize, is that intention has 10% power right now. In fact, less than 10%. Because that's what your conscious mind is choosing, is that vision, that intention, that list of qualities, that vision board you want to create. Thank you for the hearts. That's 10% of your energy, because 90+% of your energy is in the subconscious mind. And that is less than 10 years old. Meaning your subconscious mind is your little kid. Oh, you don't fight in front of the kids? Yeah, well, my parents didn't fight in front of my kids too. So you have 9/10 of your energies focused on what happened when you were a kid, in how a relationship works. So you have 10% focus on a direction, actually less than that, and more than 90% focus the other way. So to just have a clear picture of what you want. Still Carolyn Leaf, yeah. I'm passionate about this work too, and some of my teachers have told me this, and I've studied with this too, so I appreciate that. I'm glad there's more of us doing it. I can't teach everybody. It's not possible. It's not a thing. So I'll get back to this point again. 10% of all your focus is on where you're going. That means most of it is going the other direction, and you wonder why you don't get what you want. I'm glad to entertain you, Gail. Always nice to make you laugh. So what do you do about that? What is it you're choosing in relationship differently than you did in the past? Well, unfortunately, the past is going to override your choices every time, because that's where your subconscious lives. And in simple terms, your first 5 to 10 years of your life is when you get imprinted with how life is. Everybody does. You always laugh when other people laugh. That's very kind of you. You'd like to join in. That's great. I'll appreciate that, Gail. I like your scopes too for that reason as well. So the point I want to make to you is this. Well, I made 3 or 4 points so far if you watch the replay. Where you begin is you've got to get clear about what your values are. And those values come in from a younger age. But they're not always conscious because they're in the subconscious. Duh. So the work is to really uncover and reveal what those unconscious, subconscious values were that you're still driving your car with, your choices, your vehicle of relationship choice. Once you do that, you can change them so that they match the vision you really have. So instead of having 10% focus where you're going, you have 100%. That's the choice. But again, most people don't use that, or choose that, or use that vehicle. And you wonder why the divorce rate is 50%. Exactly. Get clear on your subconscious programming and change it. And change the subconscious programming. So what I want to start with an origin story, which I kind of did, but really it's about the video I just watched, which is called Divorce Corp. It's a preview. You can search on it on Google. Divorce Corp, as in C-O-R-P. It's painful to watch because they pull some really powerful stories out of it. That the amount of money that is lost from couples and families in divorces that goes to the lawyers and the legal system it sucks because family law is messed up. So my point about this again is start right, don't end wrong. I should quote that's a pretty good quote. Start right so you don't end wrong. I like that. That just came out. But that's the piece. If you start with the right intention, the right vision, the right clarity, and the right alignment inside, then you'll end right. Versus walking in blindly, hoping you'll find love in all the wrong places. How does one get clarity in your subconscious programming? Good question. I'll get back to that in a second. Let me finish the point I was going to make. So if you start right with the right choices, the right clarity, the right alignment, and the right vision, you're in the right place versus walking blindly into love, hoping it will work out right. How you get clear on your subconscious programming is you work with someone like myself. There are books out there you can recommend. You can do it yourself just by really first of all, sitting with yourself and looking back at your childhood. Because your subconscious programming happened when you were young. Because the conscious mind comes online around 8, 9, or 10 years old and takes over at that point. But until that point, it's automatic. You're like a sponge from 0 to about 7, 8, 9 years old. And your sponge consciousness takes in everything, which gets into the subconscious mind. Whatever happened in your childhood is how you choose relationship. And some of the things should be pretty clear. How you change it, that requires support. But at least knowing what it is the first step. And I would tell you, one of the keys to that is looking at your past relationships, your last romantic relationships over the years. If you've been in a few relationships, you probably notice some common themes, like the reasons you broke up, or the patterns that showed up each time. I would likely bet that those patterns you saw show up were exactly the same patterns you experienced when your parents as a kid. That's how it ties together. It's like that, aligned. So your subconscious mind is programmed by what you watch as a kid in all areas of life. Everyone has an inner child that has stored its info, it repeats throughout life. Yes. Can you be more specific, please? Okay, yeah, I'll give you an example of my own life. I was raised, as I said at the beginning, I was raised in a family. Me and my brother were parents who never argued in front of the kids. My parents were together 60 years, so that's a long span. It's an unusual framework based on what I've seen lately. But I was raised in a family where we didn't argue. So my dating life in my teens and 20s was based upon never arguing. Disastrous. And it sounds great, like as an idea, but functionally it's not effective. My early dating life in my teens and into my 20s, I'd be with a girl or a woman that would have a great connection for a few months. Sex was great, connection was great, wonderful connection, wonderful intimacy. But then something would happen, whether it be an argument. Hold that thought. I'll ask my question in a minute. So, a relationship ended abruptly when we had an argument. If we had an argument or difference of opinion, I'd leave. I would leave. Because I didn't have a logic where love and argument could go together. For some people, it's wired the other way, where love has to be with an argument to feel valid. That's what happened to me in childhood. So that's the imprinting you get. So, can the imprinting be changed? I think is what you said. Is that a question you asked? Put the question up again, please. I was trying to get my point finished, and I may have lost the point. Yes, okay. Yes, it can be changed. Absolutely can be changed. I work with my clients to help them heal their memories and do this. It's basically, I call it healing of memories. But it's really about making peace with their childhood. Because what part of the challenge is you need to take a conscious mind back to the younger years to make clear decisions. Because we don't know at the age of 0 through 8, 9 years old what the right and wrong is. So we look at that model of parents and go, oh, that must be the way it is, by default. So when you go back with your consciousness and you look at it from a clearer lens of the adult, you can change your story, change your history, and then change your path. So yes, the answer is yes, you can change it. And that's what I do. That's one of my specializations with my clients, is to really change that direction. Book recommendations. Well, I have one, of course. 50 Ways to Love Your Love is a good one to start with. But in terms of history, boy, I think my favorite authors I'm working with right now. Your parents have been married for 59 and a half years. Me and my wife have been together since we were 15. That's amazing. And it's rare to say that. I mean, my parents were together 60 years as well. It is rare. I didn't have that long-term relationship personally. Oh. You got it? Hope you got it. Screenshot? Yes? No? Yes? Sorry, I thought a screenshot. Okay. If you go to Amazon.com, you can find it there, physical book or Kindle book. On my website, if you go to 50waysToLoveYourLover.com, or you go to barryselby.com, click on the book. It's there as a Kindle book, an ebook version as well. Another book, yes. 2 books I recommend actually that are different angles. One is called Conscious Loving. It's a classic book by Gay and Kathleen Hendricks. The 5 Love Languages is a good book too, but that's a different angle. I'll talk about that in a second. So hold on that one for a second. Conscious Loving. It's about breaking the model of codependency that we may have been raised with. It's a great book for that. It's been out for 20 years. It's a classic book. I'll get to that one in a minute. That's the 5 Love Languages by Gary Chapman. I'll tell you that one in a moment. Second book I recommend, though, is Radical Forgiveness by Colin Chapman. No, sorry, by Colin Tipping. Excuse me, the name's confused. Tipping, Tipping. Radical Forgiveness, Radical Self-Forgiveness are his 2 books, and that helps you really break down the patterns and the judgments and the pain that's been limiting you from having what you want. Conscious Loving, Gay and Katie Hendricks, Radical Forgiveness by Colin Tipping. They're both in my book. I recommend them. The 5 Love Languages is a great one to learn about how you communicate love between you and your partner, but it won't help you with your past. It may reflect back on it a little bit, but the 5 Love Languages, which I recommend highly, it's a great book, speaks about the 5 different ways, primarily, that we give and we experience loving. so that we find with that partner, if we have different love languages, why we do this and not wonder why they don't love us. They do, they just don't show it the way we want it. So the Five Love Languages is a good book for that, because it breaks down the 5 main criteria, which is quality time, touch, gifts, affirmations, and there's one other one, which is it's being shown or being seen loving. For example, so I'm trying to remember the 5 exactly off the top of my head, but it basically comes down to this. If you, for example, are someone who likes to be touched to know you're loved, but your partner likes to hear words of affirmation that they're loved, if you touch your partner thinking that's the way you love them, they won't feel it. If you tell them they're loved, they'll hear it. And they will tell you they love you, but you won't feel it because they're not being touched by them. So you learn to adjust to a touch and do both for your partner and yourself, so you feel the connection and you both feel loved. Question: if your husband is not interested in loving you again, that's the question. Is why not? If he's just done, there's no energy there whatsoever, it may be time to look at separation. Sorry to say it that way. If there's something in the way of his love, then it's an opportunity to go seek counsel, to get help. Okay, currently reading Happier by Ty and Ben Schiller. Good read. Okay, good to know. I haven't read the book myself, I don't know about it. Back into the question. But you are together for the kids, right? And this is the challenge of that framework is, and I can't speak to any couple because everyone's different with their kids. For some, it's about having a conscious relationship that separates, allows support for the kids, rather than a messy divorce. Sometimes staying together, but with a different paradigm. But if it's just for the kids, I would say, can you check with each other and see if there's anything more you want together? Because you might discover there's a whole hidden layer you haven't seen yet. They could actually bring more love to yourselves. So I wouldn't discount everything yet. I don't speak to the point of like, well, that's the way it is, tough luck. There's options. So it takes you and your partner to talk, for you and him to discuss and decide and get clear about what you really want. And to be as loving as you can in the communication. And to not just say, as I talked in my book about, it's not he said, she said. Contradiction with adult kids, absolutely the same thing is true too, yes. It's not about he said, she said, it's about I feel, you feel, we feel. What's the feeling about this? You start with that, it can really deepen the conversation. Conscious relationship with adult kids, things we ask for, absolutely it can. In fact, it's the best model you can have, because they will teach you as you will teach them. I love this conversation, it's going all over the map, which is great. Quick plug again, reminder for those people who are watching in the archive. Yes, you can. If you go to my website, which is barryselby.com, there's a contact link there, so you can contact me there. What I'm also sharing is I'm starting, this is for the single folks mostly, the single women. Starting Monday, I'm starting the, it's called the 10-Day Love Rules Challenge. It's not the right name, I need to give it another name, but that's what I'm doing to start with. Basically what it is, it's a 10 days to love. It's online through Periscope and Facebook. You can find out more about it by going to barryselby.com/challenge. It starts on Monday the 26th. That's what I'm offering right now as a free gift from me to you. And I'm going to share that with everybody, and that's the link I put in my title. That is my, that's the thing I'm kicking off Monday to help. It's going to be 10 days, it's going to be fun, it'll be conversational, it'll be really inviting the women in to converse and talk about relationship and love. The Facebook is going to be a private Facebook group where they can dialogue, converse, and I can also share tips and guides along the way. And there'll be a Periscope every day, every weekday of the 10 days to inspire, provoke, and teach from my book. And that's going to be part of the teaching, as the book's going to be in there too. All right? Any other questions since we're still here? So it's a Saturday afternoon for me and I've got time to talk. Answer any questions you might have. I know you've been in, thanks for reminding followers. And by the way, if you're coming in late and watch the replay, please go back and watch the replay. It'll be available on Periscope for 24 hours. It'll be on Catch.me with all my other scopes, and that's this. That's where all my archives are for my other scopes. I've got about over 100 now. Love scope archives out there for you, which will help you get some clarity on relationship and love. This is my mission, this is my work, this is why I do what I do. And that was the point of this scope. So, any questions, any thoughts whilst I'm still here? Yes, no? It's gone quiet suddenly. No hearts, no comments. I know there's a slight delay, so I'll wait for a couple of seconds, see if you have anything to ask. Oh, thank you. You help marriages as well, sir. Doing it for 10 years and still got 6 months of counsel. That's good. Okay. I like it. Just thanks. You're welcome, Liz. My joy is that when I do a Periscope and someone gets something out of it, they get a value, I feel like I've done my work. It's kind of my vision. I guess I like paying clients, but I also want to give and share and teach. So if you want to find out about my site, please go to barryselby.com. There's a link in my Periscope profile which has the link to my site for a discovery session. You can certainly sign up for one of those. But if you want to check out my site, it's all barryselby.com. Alright? So I think that's about it. Everyone seems to be signing off. Thanks for watching the scope. Thanks for being part of this journey with me. And I gave great perspectives that you can learn from. My pleasure. Glad I could help you. My passion is this work. This is my work. And the question wasn't for me, only for my friend. Oh, you're not kidding. Okay, that's fine. I'm not judging the person who's watching. As long as you're getting value from what I'm sharing for you or your friends, I'm grateful I can serve. So, absolutely. Yeah, I did the Halloween thing for the bat hearts, just for something to pass the time. It generally gets more hearts on the screen when you see the bats come up. It seems to be an interesting, sort of childlike thing to do. Do I mentor? Mentor who? Other coaches? Not necessarily. I do coach my clients, which is mentoring in a way. So clarify what you mean by that, please. Yes. If they're looking for help, I may be able to, but I don't have official mentoring for coaches. I am passing on stuff I've learned to other coaches who want to learn how to build their businesses, but that's a different story entirely. But in terms of relationship coaching, I haven't packaged that in a way that works yet. My passion really is helping my clients. I'm glad you follow me. Glad you're hooked up that way. Again, look at catch.me. I have a whole bunch of scopes out there, which are over 100, about love and relationships. I do them every day. And so I'll be teaching again later tomorrow, because tomorrow's a busy day being Sunday, my spiritual day. But I am very passionate about this work. And Monday is when we start the challenge. So if you're single, excuse me, my apologies. If you're single looking for love in all the wrong places, and you want to change that model, please go to barryselby.com/challenge and read about my free program I'm offering. It starts on Monday. Oh yeah, 2 ears, 1 mouth is what you taught me. That's why I try to shut up. that was fun to do in that scope. That actually was a scope I was doing based on some other input, and my scopes are getting triggered by good information sometimes. And a lot of today's scope was based on the video I saw about Divorce Corp. So I was a bit I was real passionate about that one, which is not necessarily what's needed, but I speak just to that point, because sometimes I've got to be very declarative about what I'm talking about. So each scope's different every day. Sometimes I repeat. I've done a sequence where I started with one topic and it got deeper, so I went part 2 the next day and part 3 the day after that. But in my scopes, usually they're pretty much standalone. So you can find my stuff on Catch. And if you're interested, if you're a single woman who wants to attract love the right way, this is going to be a great free gift from me to you for 10 days. It's basically 10 days to love. It's called the 10-Day Love Rules Challenge. And you find it again on my site. For those of you looking on the replay, you can see this. barryselby.com/challenge is where it all sits. Just put that way around. There you go. Alright? Hope you got value from this, and hopefully you'll get to take this into your life and use it every day. I think that's about it. Hearts are stopped and no comments. I think it's time to sign off. If you're coming on late on the scope, or you catch this in the replay, thank you, I appreciate that. And please pray for my clients who haven't found me yet. I welcome that too, because I know there's people out there who are looking for help but don't know where to find it. And I trust they'll find me as they need to, and you as well. Alright? Thank you for being here. Thank you for taking my message to heart, using it, living it, and loving more deeply. Remember, this comes first. This comes second. Okay? Thank you so much for watching, and we'll sign off now. Take care of yourselves and love yourself more every day than you did the day before. That simple message will change your life. Love first, love second, love third. Alright? I'm signing off because I've got things to do today, and I want to make this one a fun day. Take care of yourselves and have a great weekend, and I'll be back on again tomorrow. Alright? See ya.